Namaste Zil, it's the Spiritual Daywalker, hashtag Schrodinger's cards with your tarot card reading for the next full moon phase from 12th until 27th of August. This full moon will be in Aquarius, later moving into Pisces. Capricorn, this means you're diving deeper into your capabilities as an empath. And thinking about you shuffling the cards, the Father of Pentacles flipped over, so this was for me the sign that you're moving further and further into your leading role that you have been experiencing for months now. I believe the last reading was you having to, make a statement, and now you're basically moving back into being an inspirational force and holding space for people to do their work properly, all that stuff. So let's see how these energies evolve for this 2-week period. I'm sorry that the trucks are so loud. There's a lot of construction going on. However, we're going to manage, probably. You're going to understand me. That being said, it is a general reading. If it doesn't resonate with you, feel free to drop the message. If it does resonate with you, drop a comment, like, and subscribe. Also, I don't do love readings. If love comes up in a reading, that is on you because you are manifesting it, or I just have like a certain intuition that is about another person, but you are attracting your own wavelength. So life is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and I don't want you to project anything into your reality that is not supposed to be there just because I say so. So let's get into your reading and see, with this DNA spread, with the spirit axis in the middle and the experience balancing around it, how your energy evolves. Well, you're getting some clarity about something and some good news coming in, right? Ace of Swords is, your soul. In your soul spot, the Ace of Swords is like gaining clarity, being clear on what decisions to make, like being very strategically advanced, all that stuff. So that's a very cool card for your soul to be in, because if your mind is at ease and sharp, that's exactly how you want to be able, that's exactly how you want to inspire people, right? It's like saying the right things at the right time for them to show their full potential, like their best selves to you. And that is so cool, right? It can also be like news coming in, but since it's not in the spot of manifestation, but in the spot of your soul, it's like your soul being very clear on what's going to happen here. Let's see what's going to happen. In the spot of the 9, there is the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is you being fed up with overthinking, right? And which is very interesting, because your soul decided for that Ace of Swords, has an insight about that Ace of Swords, and the core of your experience is the 10 of Swords, which is completion of that cycle, right? So that is very, very interesting. Let's see how the experience evolves around that, right? In the spot of your manifestation, there's a 4 of Swords. So this is you being calm in a stressful situation, like you using your mantras, right? But it's also coming out of a stressful situation. It's also like you enjoying calm, right? Especially coming from an Ace of Swords and manifesting this in your reality, that is like, okay, let's just breathe, right? And let's just breathe, and this will gonna clear up in a second, right? So that Ace of Swords right here is not just knowledge, it's wisdom, right? And you are manifesting from that spot of wisdom a 4 of Swords, right? So with that 10 of Swords in the middle, this is you being very resilient to whatever stress is around, and like wholeheartedly, not just like, you're very much in your mind about stuff and strategizing and all that stuff, yes, but you are kind of deciding to not be in your mind so much. You are deciding for wisdom, right? And that is not exactly knowledge. That is not just your mind trying to strategize and get you out of a pickle, yada yada, but the wisdom is more profound than that. Now, this is all like Aquarius air energy hitting you full on, right? It's like how to ground your knowledge in wisdom. So let's see how this is evolving. In the spot of the 1, there's the High Priestess. That is so cool because you have the insight that you have to use your insight, right? Use your intuition, how to go about things, right? And sometimes just breathe, see what pops up, and that's the wisdom, right? Not just acting on knowledge for like whatever it is your experience dictated you in the past, what you like learned, right? But actually having that moment of unlearning is just like, okay, let's just see it for what it is right now and see where the impulse is coming from and use like the inner wisdom. That is very beautiful. On the other hand, there's a 6 of Cups that is kind of counteracting that High Priestess. So yeah, that is emotional residue of experiences in the past, but it seems like the High Priestess, she's looking directly at it, right? So the moment you are experiencing old emotions, you realize, hey, I actually don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to feel like that anymore. Or that was fun, but it's over now. Let's like see what we learn from that, and on a high level, right? How do we take the high road from here? Very freaking interesting, right? So what you actually, the insight you're actually getting in the spot of the 3 right here is the Hermit in reverse. So yeah, this is you being ready in a sense. This is you found the wisdom in that Hermit mode, right? Because the Ace of Swords, that is exactly, or that's one of the things, but that's what the Hermit is looking for in a sense. That inner wisdom and clarity, that truth, right? So you coming from a High Priestess, looking at your past in the mindset of a High Priestess, like very intuitive and objective and on a very high meta level, like mature as fuck. Not exactly moving though, right? You are waiting on that insight, you're breathing, and what you realize from looking at your past is that you have learned enough, that you are ready to move out of your shell. And that is very freaking cool, right? And it seems like there's a lot of stuff on your mind that is kind of, well, the ten of Swords can be quite paralyzing, right? But it's also you completing that cycle where you're just like, okay, if all these good arguments just keep us stuck, then arguments is not what we need right now, but acting out of our intuition. And it seems like you've been in those situations, so you can actually rely on like your decisive mind, like you know your insight, you know your intuition works, right? It has done so in the past. Like the 6 of Cups is not only a negative nostalgia feeling, no, it's also reflecting on the positive, right? On the positive emotions that led you in the past. So that Hermit in reverse is like, yeah, maybe there is something you are kind of reluctant to learn. That could also be that it's flipped, right? Where you're just like, ah, shit, why is it still like feeling like this and that and whatever? I have to take a closer look. Why didn't I learn it yet? Could also be, but since you're coming from an Ace of Swords, I feel like it's more that idea of like, you know, whatever, even if I don't have all the information, it worked out fine in the past, let's just go with our intuition here. And well, breathe, meditate into it, move forward with it. Let's see how this 10 of Swords exactly plays out. In the spot of the 4, you have a 9 of Cups. Very beautiful. So the 6 of Cups going into the 9 of Cups, that is you taking a closer look at the emotions you felt in the past and how you link them to your mind. And on the other hand, there is the Lovers. There is commitment and balance. That is very beautiful. So the High Priestess going into the Lovers, well, that is you knowing you're on the right path, and that is your fellow, your posse being with you, right? That is the commitment you actually need, and also the idea that this commitment is all you need. Like this idea of like, together we can change the world, whatever, right? And you are stopping overthinking by being in your fields and in a very trusting mindset, right? It's like, whatever is going to work out fine, I trust my gut here. And you are inspiring people to commit in the same way you are committing to your own intuition, to your own self, right? You are learning from your past. You're coming out of your shell. You are showing parts of yourself, right? You are sharing with, you're so committed that you are sharing your emotions, in a sense, with those, like the Lovers and the Nine of Cups surrounding those Ten of Swords. It's like, okay, guys, I gotta tell you, there's so much going on in my mind. Like, the only thing I know is what I feel about this, and I'm sticking to that, and yeah, hope you're with me. And they respect that, in a sense. I don't see exactly card for communication here, but there's, like I said, Lovers and a Nine of Cups that are weighing each other, right? So this is you committing to how you truly feel and using that as a guide to come out of your shell and like be vulnerable, in a sense. That is wisdom, right? That vulnerability actually is a strength, right? That's very interesting. Let's see. In the spot of the manifestation, there's a Two of Wands. Cool. So there is direction, taking things to the next level, but from a fire energy, from a passionate standpoint, because that's the High Priestess into the Lovers, into the Two of Wands, right? So the High Priestess gets an insight about the emotions on the other side, then committing to be true to that emotion, to be true to whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish here, right? Or whoever you are with, maybe, right? And then that is gonna get you into a Two of Wands, so taking it to the next level, right? From a very passionate energy. And on the other hand, like there's a Two of Wands and a Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is making a decision for change, and the Two of Wands is making the decision for a direction for following your passion further, right? So manifesting those twos is like you are wise enough now to decide from your gut and not exactly from your mind, because you know wisdom is not exactly about knowledge, but there's so much more that is actually driving your decision and leading you towards what you want to manifest here. This is you coming out of your shell and being on like, you know what, guys? I don't have all the answers, but I got it all under control anyway, right? Who's with me, right? And they're going to be with you, I guess. Like, this is really you in the face of adversity, keeping a cool head, because you know it's going to work out fine. And you've been in like situations of Ten of Swords in the past already, and you learned a lot from it, and you learned how to keep your cool in the face of this adversity, right? And now how not to be overwhelmed by overthinking with this Ten of Swords. So let's see, in the final spot, the spot of the Six, like the spiritual realization that is gonna, you know, help you deal with this Ten of Swords. There's the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So, well, interesting. The Hermit is in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse. So there is that potential that you see. It is still a little delayed though, right? So you make a decision. Terima kasih banyak, my food is coming. So cool. Thank you so much. So it is that Ace of Pentacles. It's in reverse, so you know that there's a lot of potential, and somehow you wanna make it work, right? You wanna make it work, but you are making, or you are learning to make that decision, even if the potential is not clear yet, even if that Ace of Pentacles is not exactly clear, and you're like, well, we're coming from the right angle here, like we're moving towards what we want, we're taking it to the next level, we're making a decision for a change to happen, right? Even if that Ace of Pentacles is not exactly showing yet, it's like it's gonna work out in time, like believing in that and not worrying about this not coming to fruition. And that's all because your soul is in that Ace of Swords. Your soul is in that divine wisdom, right? So you keeping your cool, even though there is a stressful situation above your head, or like insecurity, not exactly insecurity, but you're kind of unsure how this is going to play out, right? But there is that Ace of Pentacles, there is that potential there, and you kind of feel it because you're coming from an Ace of Swords and a High Priestess, right? So you keep on believing. Keep on believing. That's very cool, because that is a beautiful energy with which you manifest, and people that are with you are actually very much benefiting from that. You being vulnerable, like, actually, Hermit in reverse, I don't exactly know where this is going or whether this is going to work out, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, but what I do know is we're able to deal with whatever comes along, like in the face of whatever. We're gonna like go with our intuition and just be calm with this Four of Swords right here. So this is very beautiful. This is exactly the energy of having it all under control and being committed, even though you don't exactly know how this is going to go. But this is very inspiring for everyone around you. This is very inspiring. It's like, you know, everything's going to shit. Like that doesn't mean like. But I just recently watched the Woodstock '99 documentary, and it feels like even if everything's going to shit, it's like, yeah, well, we're gonna keep a happy face and acknowledge the problems. Not like unlike in the Woodstock thing, right? We're gonna acknowledge the problems and go with it. But we are committed. We got it all under control. And even if it's not under control, we're following our intuition here. That is like the best we can do, and just keep calm and take a breather and all that stuff. So I didn't want to like confuse you with the Woodstock analogy, but it feels kind of like even if everything is crashing down, you are able to stay focused and keep like good vibration, and with that inspire people to do the same, right? And not get rattled up, right? Because it feels very much like that energy of like, yeah, been there, done that. You know, at this point, all we can do is just meditate into it, keep going, and just be committed to the cause and just breathe into it. So that's very, very freaking cool. It seems like whatever the universe is going to throw at you, you're going to be prepared to just roll with it, right? That's what you're doing, Capricorn. You just roll with it, and your posse is going to roll with you. Believe me. This is so cool. This is going to be so cool, Capricorn. If that resonated with you, drop a comment, like and subscribe, and share to whoever could also benefit from this style of reading. And yeah, Cap, enjoy that energy. This is really freaking cool. Thank you, Capricorn. I love you.